Okay guys, so we're gonna try smoking a whole hog for the first time. This is like a 32-pound hog. I got this thing from Costco. I haven't opened it up yet. Yeah, it's gonna be the first time we're ever gonna do this. So I'm actually go ahead and open this thing up so we can look at it. So looks like this is gonna be it right here. 32 pounds. It's a little baby, so it's kind of small. I'll go out. So yeah, so this thing's 32 pounds. Looks like it's kind of small, which is gonna be perfect because I'm gonna do it on the PitBoss. I think it's called the 1150, the Pro Series. And yeah, there's nothing else to say other than that. Since it's out of the box, this is it right here. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the refrigerator so I can start defrosting for 3 days. I'm actually gonna keep it unwrapped so that it can defrost, so the refrigerator could actually dry out the skin a little bit, because that's gonna help it make it more crispier once it's done. So yeah, that's about it for now.
Your first pig?
Yeah, it's gonna be my first pig right here. Hog. Okay, so I'm actually gonna be using this PitBoss right here. It's a Pro Series. I'm gonna actually go ahead and get this thing out. Okay, I kind of measure this thing, but we're gonna hope it goes in. It's gonna fit in here. So I was able to get the pig inside this Kong, what is it called, cooler. It's like medium size. But I kept the pig inside the refrigerator for about 2.5 days. I defrosted just a little bit. And now this thing is flexible enough that I was able to shove it in. But since I'm on a time crunch and this pig needs to be done for tomorrow, I'm going to fill up some cold water into this thing. And I'm going to let it cycle through. So cold water, leave it in here for about 30 minutes and then do it again. So it could defrost more, but it's almost getting there. And then it's going to go back into the fridge. So the pig is defrosted now. It's the next day. We're going to go ahead and open up the chest cavity, and then we're going to start cleaning out the pig. Now that the chest cavity is finally opened up, I went ahead and I pried the chest cavity open so I could start cleaning out anything that doesn't look pleasant inside to eat. So I'm going to take out the silver skin. I'm going to take out any glands that I see. I'm going to take out any type of blood that I see, just to help the smoke penetrate the meat more. Damn, the pig is looking nice now. We got all the guts out. We got anything that doesn't look edible out. And we're about to start seasoning this sucker with some homemade barbecue rub. So for today's barbecue rub, I decided to go with my homemade barbecue rub. That way I could kind of understand the profiles that goes into these rubs. But you could honestly just use any type of barbecue rub and it'll work just fine. As far as seasoning the hog, I've noticed that you cannot season it enough, just because the meat's inside and it's going to take a while just for the seasoning to penetrate inside the meat. So I use about maybe 3 of these little bottles right here, and I probably could have even used more. So I ended up making a meat injection for this hog. I ended up going with about 8 ounces of apple juice with about 2 to 3 heaping spoons of my homemade barbecue rub, and I just mixed it up until it was fully dissolved, and then I injected this hog literally everywhere. The biggest thing though is I tried to not penetrate the skin of the hog, because if I would have punctured holes through the hog, then a lot of the juices would have escaped. So as you notice, I did not use any type of binder when I was seasoning the hog. And one of the main reasons is because apple juice ended up coming out of the meats, and I was able to make the homemade barbecue rub kind of tacky, and I was able to spread it everywhere enough where it was still really stuck on the meat. Now it's time for the final prep of the hog's skin before it goes into the smoker. And the main thing that you want to do is you want to pat the whole entire skin as dry as possible. That way the skin can get nice and crispy. Let's go ahead and put some foil on the ears and the snout. That way the ears and the snout can get protected as it's smoking. And let's put this sucker on the smoker. For today's smoking session, I ended up going with some applewood and hickory wood pellets. I'm going to go ahead and run the smoker at 225, but one thing I've noticed with these PitBosses is you can set the smoker to 225 and it'll burn a little bit harder, so we'll probably be around the 240, maybe even the 250 range. Close enough. Okay, it's been about 2.5 hours now. Let's go ahead and see how the hog is looking. So the main stuff that I'm going to be looking for right now is I'm just looking at the color, overall color of the hog. So I'm just trying to make sure it's not getting too dark red or anything like that, and we're going to let it keep smoking. Okay, so I got some basically lard right here, and I just basted the whole entire hog. That way the skin doesn't get too dark or overcooks. So we're going to close this thing up and let it keep cooking. It's been 2.5 hours. So we're like, I think 5 hours in now. I ended up actually taking off all of the lard on top because I wanted to get a little bit darker. So it's not red, but you can hear the skin. The skin's hard, and I'm more concerned about that than I am about the color. I have 2 meat thermometers in here right now. One's inside the shoulder, one's inside the ham. So for the shoulder, I'm going to take it up to 190. And then for the ham, I'm going to take it up to like 180. So since this one's coming up a lot faster than it needs to, I've noticed that these PitBosses, they run harder on the right hand side. So I'm going to rotate it. So then the ham, the shoulder's on this side and then the ham's on this side so it can catch up. Let's go ahead and take this off. The pig's done. It's been about 6 hours and 45 minutes now. Let's go ahead and check it out. So it has a good color. Here, so you guys can actually hear the skin. The skin's nice and like leathery hard. That's what we're after. Okay. Ooh, this thing did get a little smaller, huh? Okay, right there. Twist to the side. And we have, let's go ahead and take these off. Make sure the ears are still good. Not bad. Foil trick work. So what I did when I actually, before I started smoking the hog, I actually put a foil ball right here. So I'm gonna try to take the foil ball out and put the apple in here.
Maybe we need a smaller apple.
Figure it out.
Oh shit.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, hopefully the jaw doesn't break right now. Come on, baby. Eat your freaking apple.
Roll it in there.
Woo! Okay, it fit. A little bit for presentation. Here, let's get one final look at this thing. So I'm not gonna cut it up right now. I'm actually gonna take it to my family's house because it's Christmas, and we're gonna eat it there. But I'm gonna go ahead and let this thing rest for about 30 minutes to an hour. I'm gonna wrap it in foil to keep the heat, and yeah, we'll cut it open, and then we'll see how it looks. First hog. Let's see if that works. We'll give the pig.
What the?
We'll give the pig.
My turn. Damn, we're all excited.
Alright. I still want to get a video of me like Harvard though.
Yeah, we'll get you a video. Świnia pierwszy raz.
That's more than good. That's a thick skin.
Wait, Karina's not there.
The answer sharpen this time.
Yeah.
As far as serving the hog goes, all I did was I cut through the skin of the hog. That way people could actually just pick at the hog, since the meat's basically pulled pork at this time. But since all of the juices and all the fat got rendered out inside of the skin, the hog itself is just so succulent and it's so juicy, and it's probably by far the best pork that I've ever had.
Try it.
Dude, that's literally just falling off.
Yeah.
Try it. Good?
It's good. Alright. So the next time that I do a hog, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut through the spine a little bit more. That way there's more meat exposed. That way there's more ham and more pork shoulder exposed and easier to access. But if you are the pit master and if you are the one that's making it, I highly suggest for you to try out the pork belly of a suckling pig. You will not be disappointed. It's just so tender and it's so juicy. Well, that's a wrap for today's recipe. Let me know what you guys think. Comment on the bottom, subscribe, and we'll be doing another smoke session soon.